September 12th is the first bus cohort shift in the Anchorage School District. Drivers should expect heavier than normal traffic around Begich and Wendler Middle Schools and Bartlett and East High Schools. Please avoid any unnecessary travel near these areas during drop-off and pickup times. If you must go through these neighborhoods, remember, drive slowly and be alert for students crossing the streets. Thanks for doing your part to help our students get to and from school safely.
You're watching KYES LD Anchorage.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
Mayor Bronson's plans to use rec centers as emergency homeless shelters this fall is raising some eyebrows tonight. Lauren Maxwell spoke with people who use those facilities, including some who say the city should be looking somewhere else.
At the Spenard Rec Center, the pickleball courts are almost always full. There's no doubt the city rec centers are well-loved and well-used. Some are questioning why they need to change into a homeless shelter.
Why don't you use some place that's empty as opposed to some place where we play pickleball and after us, teenagers come in and play basketball? So it's being used in a very healthy way for our community.
The rec centers, they say, provide a vital service for local neighborhoods and in some cases, the entire city, including the first indoor accessible playground that opened at the Fairview Rec Center this past March. They're the types of amenities some don't want to lose.
What a shame if they're not going to have access for the people that use these. It's going to put the kids out on the street, right, that are so used to it. So it seems to be a not very good plan.
The mayor's plan involves transporting people from the Centennial Campground at the end of the month to either the Spenard or Fairview Rec Centers, provided they want to go. The low-barrier shelters would be open 24 hours a day and house up to 150 people at each location.
It's a hard decision, right? We know people have to have shelter or they will die.
Lisa Sauter, director of Beans Cafe and the Children's Lunchbox, isn't taking a stand, but she points out the Fairview Rec Center was successfully used as an overflow shelter when the Sullivan Arena was full in the winter of 2020.
But it worked out well, and it did provide a safe, warm place for people to be 24 hours a day.
According to the administration, space is limited, and the rec centers provide the best option. This man says, well, not ideal.
I'm going to miss my workouts here. But there's other gyms too, so, I mean, if it's needed, it's needed.
People may have to adjust. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
And turning to weather, the rain is picking back up here in Anchorage, and Melissa Fry joins us to tell us what's coming up next.
Yeah, we are seeing more rain pushing in across all of South Central, and it is going to stick with us tonight and tomorrow, but not necessarily the entire week. Take a look at those current conditions right now. Live view from Midtown Anchorage looking to the north. You can see soggy streets, a wet evening commute tonight. Temperatures a little bit on the cool side at just 54 degrees. Winds out of the southeast at 9 miles per hour. We've been seeing some gusts, though, up closer to 25 miles per hour. Mid-50s across the entire city. Low 50s as you head out into Eagle River tonight. Also seeing those low 50s in Wassula and in Kenai, and a lot of green still on the map tonight. Again, seeing heavier rain in Seward, also seeing very wet conditions across Prince William Sound from Cordova all the way up into Valdez. And it's Prince William Sound and the eastern side of the Kenai Peninsula that is going to continue to see the wettest conditions here over the next 24 hours. But all of South Central and Southwest Alaska is going to see rain tonight and tomorrow, as this area of low pressure pushes in here from the west. So rainfall chances, they do go up overnight tonight. Soggy commute likely for early tomorrow morning, but then we'll see those chances for rain tapering off as we head into Wednesday. And this is what it'll look like in Anchorage. Again, temperatures falling to the upper 40s briefly overnight. Wet conditions early in the day, and then we'll see those showers through the afternoon with high temperatures topping out in the mid-50s here in Anchorage. Again, even wetter in Seward tomorrow, and eventually seeing that rain pushing down into Juneau at the end of the day with high temperatures there in the mid-50s. Now, again, it is not going to be wet all week. I'll let you know when you can expect those dry spots here in a few minutes.
I will look forward to that one then, Melissa. Thanks a lot. Well, the man who was arrested this morning in connection to a homicide investigation will be arraigned in an Anchorage court tomorrow. 23-year-old Anthony Sakaros was arrested after police responded to a disturbance call Sunday. APD says he called them suggesting he was going to harm himself. And after a SWAT response and a takedown by K-9 units, he was eventually taken into custody. But as a part of that, officers found a woman's body near the 8100 block of Bearberry Street. Sakaros is facing charges of first-degree murder and 2 counts of second-degree murder. Well, 60 years ago, President JFK told the world the U.S. would put a man on the moon by the end of the 60s. Today, President Biden is advancing his own moonshot, an attempt to cut cancer death rates in half in the next 25 years. The president went to Boston for the announcement. Alice Barr has the story.
From a mission to the moon to the most personal mission of all.
We're having a moonshot for cancer, for real. We're going to cure cancer over time.
On this, the 60th anniversary of President John F. Kennedy's moonshot speech.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
President Biden visiting the JFK Presidential Library in Boston to push his vision of ending cancer as we know it, partly to honor his late son, Beau, who died of brain cancer in 2015. The president relaunched the Cancer Moonshot program earlier this year.
For all those we lost, for all those we miss, we can end cancer as we know it.
The goal to cut cancer deaths in half over the next 25 years and improve the lives of all those diagnosed. A welcome focus for cancer researchers.
Unfortunately, curing cancer is not going to be as easy as going to the moon. Obviously, we need more funds to do the research in order to come up with better drugs.
President Biden signing an executive order to boost manufacturing of the cutting-edge technologies needed to fight cancer. And he's highlighting progress on developing new methods of early detection, as well as addressing environmental exposures and reducing the cost of prescription drugs for cancer patients. A renewed focus on a far-reaching mission that hits close to home for President Biden and nearly every American. President Biden also announced the first director of a new agency tasked with helping the federal government advance health and biomedical research to prevent, detect, and treat not. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
It is a significant milestone for people with hearing loss. Help will be available over the counter starting October. People over the age of 18 with mild to moderate hearing impairments can buy certain hearing aids from stores or online for less money. The FDA just finalized a rule to make it happen, and it's a big deal. Health experts say hearing loss is extremely common, but insurance doesn't always cover hearing aids, and they cost a lot of money, upwards of thousands of dollars for a pair. Still ahead, more than 30,000 people in the U.S. suffer from ruptured brain aneurysms a year, with 50% dying. Next, we hear one woman's story of survival and the message she wants to share.
This newscast is brought to you in part by Anchorage Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your hometown dealer since 1963.
We've got just what you've been waiting for. At Alaska's largest Anchorage Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. New Renegade starts at just $31,850. Grand Cherokee L now reduced to just $47,580. This Challenger RT Hemi V8 goes fast and will go fast at just $41,185. And new Ram 1500 Classic start at just $41,170. Come get yours. It's Ram Power Days and Jeep Adventure Days at your hometown dealer, Anchorage Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Mary Peltola is running for Congress to represent us from a small Yupik fishing village on the Kuskokwim River. 5 terms as a state legislator from Bethel. 8 years as chair of the bipartisan Bush Caucus, delivering on development in Alaska. Proud Coast Guard mom. Fishing boat captain at age 14. And the only candidate who will protect our privacy rights and the freedom to choose.
I'm Mary Peltola, and I approve this message.
You could be dreaming about this, but let's talk about right now. Download the Alaska's Weather Source app so you have this team of meteorologists by your side, so you're prepared prepared for whatever weather is coming our way.
Oh, sorry, I'm late. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, weeknights on CBS.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
The month of September is Brain Aneurysm Awareness Month, which is why one Willow resident wanted to share her story after suffering from a rupture last year. She now advocates for people to listen to their bodies and to go get scanned if they experience frequent headaches or migraines. Carly Schreck brings us her incredible story of recovery. And a heads up to our viewers, you will see a few photos of a person after surgery.
June 14, 2021. Beautiful sunny day.
It was just like any other day for Maggie Brooks, cleaning out her cabins in Willow, enjoying the summer sun reflecting off Nancy Lake. But a lingering headache started getting worse.
It started getting really scary, and it felt like somebody was standing behind me, pushing my eyes out of my head.
The next thing Maggie remembers is waking up in the hospital. She had surgery on her brain after an aneurysm she didn't know she had ruptured. She says she's still standing here today because of her faith, giving her a new purpose to help spread awareness.
I only had a 10% chance of survival, and out of that, 5% to come back the way I am today.
According to the Brain Aneurysm Foundation, 1 in 50 people have an unruptured brain aneurysm, with women having an increased risk over men. The main warning signs: localized headaches, dilated pupils, blurred or double vision, pain above and behind the eye, weakness and numbness, and difficulty speaking. Throughout her recovery, Maggie realized just how lucky she was, but has struggled with survivor's guilt.
Sometimes I wished I would have been better off not waking up. Because it is hard. It is hard.
Not only for Maggie, but for her husband, who had to quit his job to take care of her after her surgery.
We went through our savings so fast. It was pathetic. And we're just now starting to get back out of it again a little bit. So, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm alive and I got a mission and I will keep going with it, you know? I will do it.
A mission to bring awareness to the oftentimes overlooked symptoms and encourage people to get a scan. A scan that she believes should be as routine as mammograms and colonoscopies.
Just want to save other people from having to go through this.
Carly Schreck, Alaska's news source.
Okay, coming up after the break, I'll have a look at that full 7-day forecast, including how much rain we will see this week. But first, take a look at those daylight hours for today, September 12th. We're at 13 hours and 10 minutes of daylight. Sun setting tonight at 8:30 on the dot.
Local Alaskan businesses thrive. Today's featured business is Team CC, an Alaskan-grown, family-owned power sport dealership serving Alaska for over 50 years. Located in Eagle River and Wassula. Think Alaska and shop local if you plan to spend your PFD this year.
Good morning, gentlemen. Your life is pretty simple. You work hard, you do what I tell you, you'll reduce your sentence and go home to your friends and your family sooner.
Yes, sir. What'd you do? I'm here because I robbed a man at gunpoint. He got up in my parole hearing saying he forgave me and he hoped I could turn my life around. I have to believe that if I work this program that I can succeed, but I can't do it here.
And why is that?
Because this is my hometown. I left for a reason. Dude needs to leave town. It's usually over a girl. Long story.
I wanted to see you tonight before I go to work.
I love you.
Fire has gotten into Miller Canyon.
This thing's gonna rip right into town. We'll make our stand. Right here. Water drop! God, I love this job. Buddy, what are you even doing here? You don't belong here. People are in danger, man. You can't just leave.
Fire Country, Fridays this fall on CBS.
Every minute counts in a poison emergency. That's why Poison Help is standing by 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in over 100 languages. Save Poison Help as a contact in your phone today. Call your local Poison Center at 1-800-222-1222.
You're watching Alaska's weather source.
Welcome back. The rain definitely making its appearance again here across South Central. You can see those showers all moving in from the south. But we did get some sunshine this weekend, Saturday even lingering into Sunday, a few bright spots. And I want to show you what it looked like along the Klutna tail race. Beautiful conditions out there. Tracy Try capturing this stunning shot. You can see hardly a break in the clouds, mostly overcast, but it doesn't take much to reveal really beautiful conditions. And I love the reflection there on the water. The fish cleaning station looks like a nice day. You can even see those fall colors beginning to pop out as you move closer to the valley, especially. And I want to see, are you seeing the sunshine this week? Fill my feeds with your sunny pictures. You can do that on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. If you have your weather photos and you want to see them on air, upload them through our weather app. You can do that with the QR code there at the top of your screen. But September is our wettest month on average. We just got through a historic August of wet weather, but there are some bright spots in there. So if you happen to see the sun, capture a photo for me and send it my direction. I didn't see much of that sunshine today from our Glen Alps weather camera here looking over the city. A lot of clouds still streaming in here from the south. A little bit of blue sky trying to peek through there. That rain again picking up this evening, and it is going to stick with us tonight into tomorrow as well. In fact, we're already up to 1,200ths of an inch here in Anchorage. You can see about 2/10 in Wassula and until Ketna. Wet conditions on the Kenai Peninsula. The eastern side of the Kenai, though, check out Seward. Up to nearly an inch of rain already just since midnight this morning. More is coming for you tonight and tomorrow morning. Also seeing those wet conditions there across Prince William Sound. Wet weather across the entire western side of the state as well. Kotzebue at 0.08 of an inch, about 1/4 of an inch there in Bethel and down into Cold Bay. And our storm that's producing all of this rain is centered just offshore from Bethel there in the Bering. That's going to continue to send this moisture our direction tonight and tomorrow, especially through Seward and into Prince William Sound. See that orange bullseye? That's heavy rain that we're going to see move through first Seward into Portage Valley and then up further into Prince William Sound. So be prepared for a wet start to the day tomorrow. Showers lingering through the afternoon here in Anchorage, the valley, and the western side of the Kenai. Once we get into mid-morning Wednesday, though, most of those showers should wrap up, and we get drier conditions for Wednesday night. And for Thursday, the next storm doesn't get here until Friday. In Southeast, you'll see very wet conditions in Yakutat. That rain pushing tomorrow into Haines, Skagway, and Juneau. You'll even see it in Sitka and in Petersburg by the end of the day. Not quite making it to Ketchikan tomorrow. High temperatures there in the low 60s. Most of you, though, seeing breezy winds, again, as that front pushes in here from the northwest. For those of you across the Kenai Peninsula, we'll see showers on the west side, heavier rain on the east side. If you have plans to travel between Anchorage and Seward through Moose Pass or up through Turnigan Pass, be prepared for a wet commute, especially in the first half of the day. We'll also see wet conditions there through Portage Valley into Whittier, Valdez. Cordova is going to be wet tomorrow. Also seeing those showers along the Richardson Highway and down the Glen Highway there through the Copper River Basin. In the valley, heavier rain in the morning. Be prepared for a wet morning commute between the valley and Anchorage. It'll be showers through the afternoon with high temperatures in the mid-50s for Anchorage, starting out in the upper 40s. A wet morning commute for us as well. That'll transition to showers through the afternoon with highs back into the mid-50s. And again, I do expect those showers to linger into early Wednesday, but not through Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday afternoon, evening, and Thursday is looking dry. So if you want to mow the lawn or take care of anything outside, that's your best chance this week. We are going to see wet conditions likely again here on Friday. Those showers lingering into early Saturday, but right now, Sunday and Monday also don't have any good chances for rain. So Thursday, Sunday, Monday, Rebecca, put it in your calendar to get outside.
I feel like I should at this point, Melissa.
Yeah, we've got to plan around the rain.
Exactly. Still ahead, former President Donald Trump's lawyers filed a motion today asking a judge to reject the Department of Justice's request at Mar-a-Lago search case. What this means moving forward.
How's your head?
It's stupendous.
Doesn't have to be, you know.
Police, put the gun down.
It does.
You want to work in this neighborhood.
I love this neighborhood. Together, we are going to find the killer.
I'm right there with you, Regina.
Wanna ask me, how's my head?
You gotta love this city.
East New York. New series Sunday, October 2nd on CBS.
Start by heading north at schedule flexibility. Merge onto the full and part-time options highway. Take the exit at competitive pay and employee benefits. Head west towards financial incentives for the first semester of the school year. Your destination is in 3/4 of a mile. There's never been a better time to join the Anchorage School District. As a bus driver, you'll be part of a team inspiring and helping students start the day in the right direction.
Alaska's news source at noon is your midday connection to breaking news, statewide forecasts, and developing stories from across Alaska and the lower 48. Sponsored in part by Alcan Family Dental. At Alcan Family Dental, we hear you.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
No way.
No way. No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
Looking to start your career in television and multimedia? Channel 2 and CBS 5 is hiring. You could join the award-winning team of journalists at Alaska's News Source with opportunities to share Alaska's stories on air, on demand, and behind the scenes. Or work in the ad business with our sales and marketing teams. From entry-level to experienced, if you or someone you know is interested in applying for a job at Channel 2 and CBS 5, visit alaskasnewssource.com and click on About Us.
Well, tomorrow, Alaska will have a new congressperson. Democrat Mary Peltola is set to be sworn into the 117th Congress tomorrow, becoming the first Alaska Native in U.S. history to represent the state. She will serve out the remainder of the late Congressman Don Young's term through January of 2023. And after being sworn in, Peltola will remain in D.C. as the House is scheduled to be in session all week. Former President Donald Trump is fighting against two people the Department of Justice are suggesting could serve as a special master in the Mar-a-Lago search case. Trump's legal team told a federal judge their client was rejecting the DOJ's proposals, but did not give a reason for the rejection. This is just one of several key aspects of the case both sides cannot seem to agree on. CNN's Jessica Shenandoah has the latest.
Federal Judge Eileen Cannon facing a critical decision on how the special master process should proceed as the disagreements between Trump's legal team and the Justice Department escalate in court filings. Lawyers for the former president saying the DOJ's criminal inquiry into the potential mishandling of classified documents is simply a document storage dispute that has spiraled out of control, and questioning whether there was an urgent need for the FBI to search Mar-a-Lago.
To have this search warrant based on failed narrow negotiations, I suppose, that allowed the government to basically ransack the president's residence.
Trump's legal team now asking Judge Cannon to deny DOJ's request that investigators be able to continue reviewing the classified documents they seized, but also seeming to sidestep the former president's common refrain that he declassified all documents, only saying that Trump had the authority to declassify anything he wanted, and arguing the documents found at Mar-a-Lago were secure in a locked room, writing, "There is no indication any purported classified records were disclosed to anyone." But on one of their main disagreements, even Trump ally Chris Christie thinks Trump's team has a losing argument.
Their main thrust is that some of these may be covered by executive privilege. Well, there's only one executive who can assert the privilege, and that's the one who's the current executive, Joe Biden.
A federal judge is asking Trump and DOJ to come to some agreement on the special master review, to little avail, each side putting up their own preferred candidates for the job and suggesting different timelines, DOJ wanting the review finished by mid-October as opposed to the 90-day deadline set forth on Trump's side. Trump was back in the D.C. area Monday at his golf club in Northern Virginia. Meanwhile, Trump's challenger in 2016, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, saying she believes Trump should be treated like any other American in a criminal investigation.
If the evidence proves or seems to show that there are charges that should be leveled, then I think the rule of law should apply to anyone.
And the DOJ has not weighed in on the two proposed candidates put forth by Trump's legal team. Still ahead, we saw sunshine and blue skies over the weekend, but the rain returned for the start of the week. Melissa joins us after the break with how long it could last.
You look marvelous.
Oh,
Well, thank you.
I want you out of here so bad.
I feel like I should worship you.
I can be arranged.
At iMart Express, you'll save on glasses for classes. For $79, get 2 pairs with kid-safe polycarbonate lenses and a free 1-year frame warranty. Don't let the bell ring before you get a chance to save. A $200 value, all for $79.
Bailey's Furniture is now having a never-before-seen overstock sale. Here at Bailey's, we have thousands of items that are not only in stock, but all of it must go at a one-time-only reduced price. Take advantage of additional discounts on our Everyday Buddies price and even on clearance items. That includes living room, bedroom, dining, and youth furniture, plus everything else in the store. Come in while we're overstocked with quality furniture and mattresses, all at slashed prices.
Your summer adventure companion is here. Whether you're hiking, fishing, or walking your dogs, you can connect to the day's biggest news and statewide forecasts with the Alaska's News Source podcasts. Go to alaskasnewssource.com, click podcasts, and subscribe to have the podcast automatically download. It's never been easier to stay informed on your time. Scan the QR code now to download and take Alaska's News Source everywhere you go.
Start your weekend with original reporting and the good things in life.
Bringing a little more wonder into the world. That's a great thing.
Watch CBS Saturday morning on CBS.
iMart Express owns selection, price, and speed. Need single vision? Get 2 pairs. Nobody beats us, guaranteed. iMart Express. Right glasses, right price, right now.
So, Mike Ross, what is happening tonight at 6?
Big news coming up tomorrow, Rebecca. She's getting ready to make history. We're talking about Congresswoman-elect Mary Peltola. She's going to be sworn into office tomorrow. We're going to take a look tonight at the historic significance of her win and what's in store for Alaskans in Washington, D.C. tomorrow. We'll have details coming up in just a few minutes.
See you then, Mike. Finally tonight, imagine winning $600 in the lottery only to find out the amount you won was much, much more.
That would be pretty sweet. That's exactly what happened to one man in Virginia recently. Jose Velasquez took his winning ticket to the Virginia Lottery's customer service center to claim his $600 prize, but staff quickly realized he had actually won $1 million.
That's so much better. No, he had the choice of taking the full $1 million prize over 30 years for a one-time cash payment of nearly $760,000 before taxes. He chose the cash option, saying he was going to take care of his family and possibly start his own business.
I mean, 600 or 700,000.
Potato.
You know.
What's the biggie?
Yeah. Either way, you can't buy sunshine. That you have to hope for. We are going to see some dry spots this week. Wet tomorrow, no way around it. But I do expect those showers to break up pretty early in the day Wednesday. That'll leave Wednesday afternoon and evening and most of Thursday with dry conditions. Some nice sunshine and high temperatures warm up a smidge back up to 56 degrees before wet, windy weather is likely again Friday into Saturday morning. But then once again, we get a break. Saturday afternoon, again Sunday into Monday, no storms headed our way. So even though there's a lot of rain on that 7-day forecast, it's really confined to 2 main days, Tuesday and Friday, with a few showers the day after. All in all, not too bad, right?
Not too bad. I mean, at this point, like any break we have, I'm grateful for because it feels like it just has been forever at this point.
It really has been, about 8 weeks.
Wow. Yeah. It's incredible. All right. That's it for us. Have a great night.
Found the perfect guy.
He doesn't play games.
What is the point of dating without games? How do you know if you're winning or losing?
But Kramer's new friend...
Well, don't they know I have a gastrointestinal disorder? They're trying to kill it, Papi.
Doesn't sit well with Jerry.
Is it? Could it? It is! Papi, Peter, myself out!
Watch the next Seinfeld.
Weeknights at 9 on My Network TV.
Tax audits. Tax liens.
wage garnishments.
Every day we hear stories like this about good folks who are simply struggling to pay their bills. Each of them are living a frightening IRS tax nightmare, and they are afraid it will destroy their lives. If you are worried that the IRS could garnish your wages, seize your assets, even take your home, call us right now. The Tax Relief Line is here to help you. Now you have a knowledgeable, professional team of tax experts that are ready to negotiate with the IRS and fight for you to save you money. The Tax Relief Line's professionals have successfully negotiated thousands of cases, reducing and sometimes even eliminating the tax debt for their clients. Simply call the number on your screen right now. You don't have to live in fear anymore. The call and the consultation are free.
Times of transition, whether from a sad event or a joyful one, can leave us feeling adrift. Social connections become even more important. Being isolated and lonely can be harmful to your health. It can lead to high blood pressure, a greater risk of heart disease, and early onset dementia. So it's important to build and maintain connections to people whose relationships bring meaning to your life. Try a new hobby, volunteer, exercise, or use your phone or other device to stay in touch. These can be great ways to keep up your social connections and your physical and mental well-being. Visit connecttoeffect.org to see if you're at risk of social isolation and find ways to stay connected. This message is brought to you by United Healthcare and AARP Foundation.
Get Alaska's news source on demand.
Mary Peltola will be sworn into Congress tomorrow. We'll take a look tonight at where her big win fits into Alaska history. Using rec centers as homeless shelters. That's the mayor's plan. Find out what that means for people who frequent those rec centers. And should he be kicked out of office? A judge rules in the case of Wassula Representative David Eastman and his membership in the Oath Keepers.
And the rain is picking back up here across South Central. I'll let you know how long it sticks around and when you can plan for the sun this week.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
Good evening, everyone. An historic moment at the U.S. Capitol is all set to take place tomorrow. The first Alaska Native will serve in Congress, and the first Alaska woman will serve in the House of Representatives, filling the remainder of the late Congressman Don Young's unexpired term. Maria Downey takes a look tonight at the woman behind this historic event as Mary Peltola is officially about to be sworn in.
She is now the first Native woman to represent Alaska in Congress. And joining me now is Democratic Congresswoman-elect Mary Peltola of Alaska.
Big news from Alaska to the nation's capital and national networks as political analysts take a look at what led to this historic moment by looking back nearly 5 decades.
In Alaska, State Senator Don Young, a Republican, apparently has won a narrow victory in yesterday's election for Alaska's only seat in the U.S. Congress.
In 1973, Republican Don Young ran for and won Alaska's only congressional seat in a special election. That same year, Mary Peltola, the Democrat who would one day replace him, she was born.
And now, 49 years later, not only emerging as a viable candidate for the 49th state, but preparing to take that coveted seat in Congress. Alaska's lone seat in the House of Representatives, soon to be held by the first woman and the first Alaska Native in all of Congress.
It is significant. It is noteworthy. Alaska Natives, we've been here a long time, and we have had to fight very hard to make sure that we have a seat at the table in many instances, and our concerns are being heard. And this isn't just Native Alaskans, it's across the board. We're now seeing that all ethnicities, all demographics are feeling disenfranchised and forgotten and not heard and not seen. And so I am very sensitive in Alaska.
And making it clear that she intends to represent all people of Alaska, including those who didn't choose her to represent them, trying to bridge the gap to be more inclusive and less divisive. a disturbing political trend she's hoping to combat.
The messages of fear and hate do not resonate with me, and I hope that we can all collectively get away from the messaging of fear and hate, because I think those are very destructive tools to reach people. I think in a lot of ways they're very lazy emotions, and in order to solve problems, we have to put those kind of primal emotions to the side. To be able to use reason and logic, you have to get out of fight or flight mode.
While representing one of the most diverse states in the nation, and in the spirit of the late Congressman Don Young, who would refer to himself as the Congressman for all Alaskans.
And I don't ever want to lose sight of the diversity that we have in the state and the fact that we all have a common future.
Maria Downey, Alaska's news source.
Now, the Congresswoman-elect will be sworn in tomorrow at 2:32 p.m. Alaska time. We will carry the swearing-in ceremony on alaskasnewssource.com live. Mary Peltola will also tour the U.S. Capitol building tomorrow morning. And for Alaskans in Washington, D.C., there will be a watch party and a reception hosted by AFN after the ceremony. And you can see our entire 20-minute interview with Mary Peltola. It's posted on alaskasnewssource.com right now. An Alaska judge ruled today that the State Division of Elections has to investigate whether or not Wassula State Representative David Eastman should be removed from the ballot for violating the loyalty clause in the state constitution. Eastman is a member of the Oath Keepers, a group which has been labeled a radical militia group that many blame for storming the Capitol building on January 6th. One of Eastman's constituents filed a complaint with the State Division of Elections, claiming that Eastman's membership in the Oath Keepers is a violation of the loyalty clause because of that group's alleged role on January 6th. Now, the Division of Elections argued that it is not required to determine if a candidate is eligible based on the loyalty clause. The ruling today by Judge Jack McKenna ruled that the state law does require the Division of Elections to investigate and determine if a candidate is disqualified for disloyalty under the Alaska Constitution. You can find the latest Alaska news and weather on our apps. Find them in the App Store and by searching for Alaska's News Source and Alaska's Weather Source. You can also find them by using that QR code right there on your screen. Let's turn now to the weather. Take a live view across Anchorage this evening. See what the weather cam is showing us right about now. Some clouds over there. Let's check in with Melissa Fry and see what's coming up this week.
Yeah, it sure is nice that we have just a couple trees in that view that are turning those yellows and oranges. Otherwise, you would think it was in black and white. We are seeing those clouds hanging tight over the city tonight with rain extending into the valley all the way across the Kenai Peninsula and across Prince William Sound. We are looking at wet conditions overnight tonight, and that rain is going to stick with us most of tomorrow as well. You can see some pretty pockets of heavy rain as you head near Seward and up across Prince William Sound. This is all part of a larger storm system that has developed in the Bering, also bringing wet conditions to Bethel all the way down through Bristol Bay into the Alaska Peninsula and through the eastern Aleutians. As that storm shifts to the east here overnight tonight, we're really going to see that rain picking up in Anchorage early tomorrow morning. So be prepared for a wet morning commute again in Anchorage, also in the valley and on the Kenai Peninsula. Once we move into the afternoon, though, we will transition into scattered showers, temperatures starting out in the upper 40s and then only reaching the mid 50s into the afternoon. Similar conditions for those of you in Wassula. It is going to be wetter, though, in Seward. Heavy rain for you, a high of just 53. Juneau also seeing that rain pushing into your area for the second half of the day. Highs there in the mid 50s. Now, I'll have more details on that full statewide forecast here in a few minutes, and I can already tell you we will not see rain the entire week. I'll show you those bright spots here in a few minutes.
Okay. Look forward to that, Melissa. Thanks. Well, the mayor's plan to use a couple of community rec centers and turn them into emergency homeless shelters is rubbing some people the wrong way. The Bronson administration says the Fairview and Spenard rec centers provide the most practical option to get people housed quickly and be able to provide meals, showers, and bathrooms. Some people who use those centers say the administration should look elsewhere.
Look at the basketball, look at the badminton, look at the volleyball, look at the squash and everything else that goes on here. And maybe more so even in Fairview. What a shame if they're not going to have access for the people that use these.
Now, Lisa Sauter, director of Beans Cafe and the Children's Lunchbox, is not taking a stand in this debate, but says the situation means some hard decisions will have to be made.
I think anytime we have to take a community asset and use it in a different way than it was intended, it's hard, and certainly it causes hardship for some people, but we're also looking at a very real situation of not having enough beds for people to be sheltered this winter.
Now, the city plans to provide transportation from Centennial Campground to the rec centers later this month. Still ahead this evening, running out of room. The UAA archive is filling up. Find out what's in there and why finding more space is so important for preserving Alaska history.
This newscast is brought to you in part by Anchorage Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your hometown dealer since 1963.
Home improvement requires a lot of planning, including how to work safely around power lines. Before you begin your project, call 811, the convenient way to request underground utility locates at least 48 hours in advance, so you know where all underground utilities are buried.
I got an underground power line.
Digging into an underground power line can cause outages for you and your neighbors, as well as injury or death. If you damage or expose an underground line, do not touch, move, or handle the wire. Call your utility immediately. Be safe. Call for locates before you dig.
How was your weekend?
Oh, it was great. I hooked up my new big screen TV.
You know, if it's connected to the internet, you can download the Alaska's News Source app from the Roku store. Type Alaska's News Source into the search bar, select the app, and download. It's that simple.
Well, that's a relief because, I like my appetizer simple, like mozzarella sticks.
It's not that kind of app.
Just because you're not paying for cable doesn't mean you can't stay connected to local news. You're watching Alaska's News Source.
Have a question? Google it. You can learn a lot with a few keystrokes. But what if the information you need doesn't exist in a digital file? Then you may be in need of an archive. In tonight's Telling Alaska Story, Eric Soule heads to UAA, where on the third floor of the Consortium Library, you can find the archives and special collections, where information is stored mostly on paper.
Fred Fickett was one of 3 men on the Allen expedition of 1885 that went up the Copper River.
Arlene Schmuland is in charge of millions of pieces of paper.
You might have heard of Verna Pratt. She's written some of the definitive wildflower guides in Alaska.
She's the director of the archives and special collections.
We have collections as small as 1 item.
Almost 2 miles of shelving. The biggest collection fills up over 500 of these boxes. And to Schmuland, these boxes hold a lot more than information.
These are the products of people's lives. You're looking at people here. I know it looks like boxes, but what you're looking at is people. Because it's our documentation. As people, as individuals, as groups.
You might have a version of an archives in your home. A box of personal items that are important in your life. Items that, as a collection, tell your story.
Lorena Showers was one of the first union activists in Anchorage.
And this space is a collection of those stories. Stories, for the most part, that only exist in these boxes.
We're here to serve researchers.
Researchers like students, lawyers, historians, authors, and even relatives.
Sometimes it's personal. I knew that person. I had a request yesterday. I knew this guy. I'd like to see his photos.
It isn't practical to transfer all of this material to digital versions. If you have the space, it's cheaper to...
We have space for about 9,100 cubic feet.
Each box is 1 cubic foot, and there are a lot of them.
About 8,000.
Space is becoming a premium here.
We're down to small spots here and there.
With new collections showing up on a regular basis.
Since January, we've taken in about 63 cubic feet.
Shelf space could run out in about 10 years. Sooner, depending on the size of new donations.
There's still some big collections hanging out there, though.
There is a quick solution.
Thankfully, when they built the space, they gave us the floor loading capacity for compact shelving. That is the next, I won't say it's a game plan, that is the next hope. It will get us to, I want to say about capacity for 14,000 cubic feet in here.
Making more room for more boxes.
Ted Stevens ANCSA papers.
Full of material important to Alaska and Anchorage. Just don't let Arlene Schmuland catch you calling it information.
It's people and organizations full experience.
Telling Alaska's story, Eric Soul, Alaska's news source.
Now, the archive, film, and photos, and the storage space for maps and larger format pieces of paper is completely full. Coming up next, the survivor of a brain aneurysm shares her story of struggle and miraculous recovery to try to raise awareness.
And coming up after the break, I'll have a look at that 7-day forecast, including days with rain and days with sun. But first, take a look at your daylight hours for today, September 12th. We're at 13 hours, 10 minutes, sun setting tonight at 8:30.
Spend some time with Modern Family. Come for the comedy.
I'm coming for you, Lily.
Hey, stop. Let's go! Stay for the love.
Thank you for being so vulnerable with me. I hate you.
Modern Family.
Weeknights at 6:30 on CBS 5.
Bailey's Furniture is having a warehouse inventory blowout sale. We're overstocked. Now our problem means huge savings for you. Get discounts off our clearance prices and our everyday already low Buddies price. This is your chance to save like never before on any of our mattresses or amazing bedroom sets. Includes all of the popular sizes along with our just-in-stock wall beds. Come in while we're overstocked with quality bedroom sets and mattresses, all at slash prices.
For a charming getaway, pull up a chair at the Woodstone B&B.
Welcome to the Woodstone B&B.
Featuring deluxe accommodations.
Everything okay with the room? Could not be better.
Lies. Thin sheets, hard towels, cheap TP.
Modern entertainment.
What are you watching?
A program entitled How About Those 90s?
We don't even know if that OJ fellow tracks down the real killers.
And all the excitement nature has to offer.
I like watching ants all day.
Basement of bastards. Look at that little guy go.
Why, simply look at our 5-star reviews.
Just one of the many special touches that sets Woodstone apart from the B&B herd.
Ugh.
Yeah, that was hard to watch.
The Woodstone B&B. Stay here.
Ooh.
And you think you've died and gone to heaven.
If only it were that simple.
Ready to book your stay? Yes. Then simply watch the new season of Ghosts, Thursday, September 29th on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
You can connect to the day's biggest news and statewide forecasts with the Alaska's News Source podcasts. Go to alaskasnewssource.com. It's never been easier to stay informed on your time. Take Alaska's News Source everywhere you go. You're watching Alaska's Weather Source.
Welcome back. Rain is back on the radar again tonight. You can see all of the greens, yellows, oranges, and reds all indicating various levels of rain. When you get those oranges and reds, that's that heavy rain that we're seeing pushing in here near Seward. We've also seen that across Cook Inlet up over the Alaska Range as well. But there's some other colors on this map as well. When you see the pinks, the purples, the whites, that's snow beginning to mix in with that rain. The purple and white, though, is all snow. We're seeing that in the very highest elevation of the Chugach Mountains tonight. This isn't the first time. We did get that termination dust over the weekend. Friday, seeing it as well. Again, in the higher elevations of the Chugach Mountains, mostly up above about 4,000 feet. This is one shot of that. Jennifer Summers, one of our producers, captured the first little signs there of the termination dust from Takatnu. You can see it up into the mountains. It did linger most of Friday and Saturday, but we had more than just termination dust. I would call this just full-on snow up at Hatcher Pass this weekend up near Independence Mine. We saw some pretty significant snow. Look how beautiful this is, though, with the oranges and reds that we're seeing there, the fall colors. But sticking snow, you can see this is even lower than the mine. We had quite a bit at the mine, all up through the mountains and up near Gold Core Lake as well. So some significant snow in the valley this weekend, headed all the way up to Anaktuvuk Pass and the Brooks Range. We also had snow there this morning. We heard from, I think we'll have a photo there. We are, Bertha Morey saying, yep, snow is here. You can see not just in the mountains, but down on the ground as well. Sticking snow. It's this time of year that we're starting to see again signs of winter's trying to creep in. Just plain old liquid precipitation, though, and all the lower elevations here. 1,300ths of an inch so far in Anchorage. I'm seeing more than 2/10 in Soldotna, but Seward, that's where we're seeing some heavy rain. rain, and those numbers are going up quickly tonight, and they will continue to climb through the night into tomorrow. Now 1.12 inches of rain. Also seeing some heavy rain there in Cordova tonight. So be prepared for wet conditions in South Central tonight and tomorrow morning. We're also seeing wet weather all the way down the western side of the state, including in King Salmon and Bethel, now up to 1/3 of an inch for those of you in Cold Bay. And that's closer to the center of this storm. That area of low pressure just about to move inland near Bethel. So wet and windy conditions there tonight. We'll continue to see some showers in western Alaska tomorrow, along with that heavier rain pushing here into South Central. For those of you through the interior, not much rain from this storm, but you're still getting the wind. We do have a wind advisory in effect until 1 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll see those south wind gusts up to about 65 miles per hour. If you're traveling through the Alaska Range tonight or tomorrow morning, be prepared for that wind. Again, heavy rain across South Central overnight tonight and tomorrow morning. We will see a transition, though, to scattered showers for Anchorage, the Valley, and the western side of the Kenai Peninsula through the afternoon. Heavy rain continues through Prince William Sound and further east into Yakutat into the evening. But by Wednesday morning, we'll see just a few lingering showers at that point. Drier conditions are likely for Wednesday night and for Thursday. And the next storm doesn't get here until Friday, so it does give us a nice little break between storms this week. In Southeast, be prepared for that heavier rain in Yakutat tomorrow, also pushing into Haines and Skagway, not making it to Juneau, Sitka, or Petersburg until the second half of the day. Watch out for the breezy winds, though. Ketchikan staying dry tomorrow with high temperatures there in the low 60s. Again, be prepared for the winds through the Alaska Range, but otherwise pretty pleasant conditions through the interior. We'll see some nice sunshine in Fairbanks, also out in Fort Yukon and Delta Junction. High temperatures there still back into the 60s. For the slope, it's cooling down, only 37 for the high temperature there in Ukiyavik. We'll see rain showers tomorrow in Anaktuvuk Pass. I don't expect that snow to stick around. Out west, still seeing wet conditions in Galena, Nome, Unalakleet, Gamble, morning showers for you. Heavier rain near Bethel. And again, into South Central, do be prepared for those scattered showers. Highs will be in the mid-50s. Wet conditions continue across Prince William Sound, Copper River Basin. Showers in the valley tomorrow. Anchorage, wet in the morning with showers there through the afternoon. Drier conditions here Wednesday afternoon and Thursday before we see the rain returning on Friday.
All right. A little bit of hope there. Thanks, Melissa. Well, September is officially Brain Aneurysm Awareness Month. Brain aneurysms typically go undiagnosed until one ruptures, which is why Maggie Brooks of Willow is telling her story to Alaskans. Maggie suffered a rupture in June of last year and strongly believes getting a brain scan should be as routine as mammograms and colonoscopies. Research from the Brain Aneurysm Foundation suggests about 1 in 50 people have an unruptured brain aneurysm, and ruptured aneurysms have an approximate 50% fatality rate. Doctors told Maggie that she only had a 10% chance of surviving her surgery.
They were amazed. The doctors, one of the first words I heard when I woke up, "Wow, you are a miracle. You are a miracle. You made it through this surgery."
Maggie says that had she had known about brain aneurysms, she would have gotten scanned years ago with how frequently she was getting migraines. Other symptoms include dilated pupils, blurred vision, pain behind the eyes, and difficulty speaking. Women have a higher risk of developing brain aneurysms than do men. Still ahead this evening, Jordan Rodenberger will break down what's ahead this week in sports.
Coming up, I'll tell you all about what's happening this week in sports, from the rinks to the gridiron for week 6 of the high school football season and everywhere else in between. Stay updated by staying with us after the break.
Look at this all-star team.
We are happy to help.
Let's go!
This is very dangerous. Poison, biotoxins.
Very bad guys.
You have to act fast.
Shut it down. Drop it now.
You really don't want me to do that.
The battle's just started, but we've already won. 'Cause we're about to get in time.
Does your organization refer job applicants? Do you distribute information about job opportunities? Then Gray Media is looking for you. If your company would like to receive notifications about job vacancies at our television station, please let us know. Email us at jobs@ktuu.com for more information. Gray Media is an equal opportunity employer, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Your time is valuable, and we're not going to waste it. Spend a few minutes on the Alaska's News Source app and go beyond the headlines. Get 24/7 access to stories like this.
Get Out the Native Vote is an affiliate of Cook Inlet Tribal Council. Their goal is to remove barriers that might prevent Indigenous voters from voting.
When you download the Alaska's News Source app, you get the very latest information with breaking news alerts, developing details, and local perspective on issues impacting Alaskans.
Making one as lovely as she.
Your voice made me feel something today.
It's a dream come true. I'm trying to hold back tears.
I can get you from a 95 to like a 99.9.
She doesn't want you to get to 100.
We don't want robots, we want emotion. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you.
The Voice premieres Monday, September 19th on NBC and streaming on Peacock. You're watching Alaska's Sports Source.
Well, it's a busy week as fall sports cross over with the beginning of the winter sports season. Sports director Jordan Rodenberg is here to break it all down for us.
On Wednesday, right here at the Seawolf Sports Complex, the puck will drop on a new era of UAA hockey with their first official practice since their reinstatement last October, where within just the last calendar year, they hired Anchorage's very own Matt Shasby, who's put together a 26-player roster and a 34-game independent schedule from scratch. And that first official practice on Wednesday at 6 p.m. is open to the public, so you can see the Seawolves live in action as you scope out your seats for the season.
Panaseco takes one to the back. Shot scores! Anchorage takes the lead with 47 to go here in the third period.
Another hockey season getting underway on Wednesday after some scrimmages this past weekend. The NAHL Showcase in Blaine, Minnesota will spark the Anchorage Wolverines 2022-23 season and their second as an organization. But they'll be skating in 12 games on the road before fans get to see them in Anchorage come October 21st. Meanwhile, week 6 of 8 of the high school football season already approaching, and it kicks off right here at Ballot High School Friday, 4 p.m. between the number 2 Golden Bears and the number 3 Colony Knights. Each team with just one loss on the season and looking to prove that they can be the team to raise the elusive state title come October. This kicking off a 12-game slate all across the state with just a few weeks left to sort out the playoff picture. And on Saturday, the historic and grueling Equinox Marathon in Fairbanks running its 59th edition this weekend. Last year, Anchorage's Anna Dalton smashed the women's record held by Christy Marvin, clocking in at 3 hours, 7 minutes, and 22 seconds, while Lars Arneson won the race for the men in his first ever attempt at the marathon that features over 3,200 feet in elevation gain. And of course, we'll have all of this and more on Alaska's Sports Source.
And coming up next, we're going to check in with Melissa again. Won't be a shock to you. More rain in the forecast this week. She'll have the details coming up.
Good morning, gentlemen. Your life is pretty simple. You work hard, you do what I tell you, you'll reduce your sentence and go home to your friends and your family sooner. Yes, sir.
What'd you do?
I'm here because I robbed a man at gunpoint. He got up in my parole hearing saying he forgave me and he hoped I could turn my life around. I have to believe that if I work this program that I can succeed, but I can't do it here.
And why is that?
Because this is my hometown. I left for a reason. Dude needs to leave town. It's usually over a girl. Long story.
I wanted to see you tonight before I go to work.
I love you.
Fire has gotten into Miller Canyon.
This thing's gonna rip right into town. We'll make our stand. Right here. Water drop! God, I love this job. What are you even doing here? You don't belong here. People are in danger, man. You can't just leave.
Fire Country, Fridays this fall on CBS.
Classic Crime has joined the lineup. Tune in every Tuesday night for Crime Time on Circle, starting with the commish.
What you lied to me once, Ricky. Don't do it again.
Followed by Hunter.
You want to try me, Gus?
blow your heart out.
And to top off the night, there's a new sheriff in town, Longmire. Sounds the best way to catch the killer is to make him think they're free. Every Tuesday, starting at 8/7 Central, Crime Time on Circle.
You're watching Alaska's News Source.
Coming up tonight at 10 on the Alaska's News Source Late Edition, air travelers still seeing major delays and other issues even after the busy Labor Day holiday. Record-breaking airline problems continue as we now move closer to the big holiday season. And the Department of Transportation in Washington is under major pressure to get airlines back on track. Our Washington News Bureau will take a look at that situation coming up tonight at 10. Melissa, we have a working theory in our control room that Saturday might be the last nice day we see until 2023.
It's that time of year where we're getting the sunshine, but temperatures still are, manageable to get outside and enjoy it before it gets too cold. We probably have, a good 3-4 weeks before we're talking freezing temperatures on a regular basis. But still, this week, again, you want to set an alarm for Thursday and for Saturday afternoon to get outside and enjoy the sunshine. Those will be the bright spots in between the storms that we'll see tomorrow. And again, on Friday will be pretty wet. High temperatures stay consistently in the mid-50s, and you can see those overnight lows only dipping into the mid-40s, which, is a long way from freezing. So we still have some time.
That's the bright side. It was beautiful up in the glacier here. Wife and I took a drive up there.
Oh, nice.
Fall colors all over the place.
So that is a great thing about this time of year. It is beautiful.
It is. Yeah. Thanks, Melissa. Thank you for watching. Have a great evening. We'll see you back at 10 right here on Alaska's News Source.
Away, 6 Supreme Court justices took away one of Alaska's most fundamental freedoms, our right to choose. And frankly, that's a game changer. I'm Mary Peltola, mom of 7, grandmother of 2, and a committed advocate for personal privacy rights. The federal government has no business taking away our freedoms. I'm running for Congress, and I approve this message because we should have the right to make choices that work for ourselves and our families.
Alaska's News Source is on your TV in a new way. If your TV has an internet connection, you can stream in-depth reports, statewide forecasts, fan-favorite sports moments, and more when you add Alaska's News Source to your channel library. Here's what to do if you're watching on Roku. Go to the main search area, type in Alaska's News Source, choose Add Channel, and you're good to go. If you have a newer version of Apple TV, click the App Store button on the home page, search for Alaska's News Source, and add the channel. Once it downloads, you're all set. Watching on Amazon Fire? Type Alaska's News Source into the search bar, choose the app, hit download, and watch when you're ready. Alaska is stronger with local journalism, and we're here to help you stay informed so you can watch us live or on demand.
Listen to the free Alaska's News Source podcast. You'll hear about in-depth investigations, special reports, and statewide forecasts. To have episodes download automatically, subscribe today wherever you get your podcasts.
Everywhere I go.